For a while, I've always wanted to do a series called East versus West. And what the series is supposed to mean is pretty much why I slowly start falling out of love with Western entertainment and start quickly falling in love with Eastern entertainment. Because believe it or not, I used to be a Western fanboy. Most of the things I used to like when I was a kid and growing up was actually Western entertainment. I loved a lot of it. Movies, TV shows, books, video games. But now, as time goes on, I'm quickly falling in love out of it, and I'm quickly falling in love, well, since really when I got high school, with Eastern entertainment, with its movies, its video games, its books, everything because of what's been going on. And doing it in one video wouldn't do it any justice. So that's why I'll do a mini short series where I'll explain each and every bit that I can or will of why I like each part of the Eastern entertainment more than I do Western. And this is a good way to start. After hearing the news of a Hero Academia live action by Netflix, because they do such an amazing I can't get my words out right. A good idea when it comes to adaptations, and they do a terrible idea. Look at Resident Evil. Heck, even look at Maximum Ride by James Patterson. One of my most, if not my most favorite book from James Patterson is Maximum Ride. They even did a very cool manga version of it, of Maximum Ride. It's beautiful. I love it. So I saw the movie. It was terrible. It was by Netflix. And then any other movies that they do by Netflix, it's just god awful. Especially the Resident Evil movie, and then the Resident Evil TV series. Oh my goodness. Why do they do this? They have no respect. They have no love or anything or care for source material. At least respect the source material, but they can't. They really can't. For some reason, they just can't. In Japan, they have a lower budget when it comes to their live actions. You've seen them do it mainly based off of manga. They did one based off of Bleach, Assassination Classroom, JoJo Part 4, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist. But yet, even with this lower budget, they were able to get the characters right, the designs right, costumes, the theme, the settings, all that. They were at least able to do everything. No, they can't do everything to a T. It's a movie, for God's sakes. They're not going to get every bit of it correctly. So those people who nitpick over that, just shut up, okay? There's no point fretting over that. That's just dumb. Really dumb. But yet, they were able to respect the source material. So characters you see in there will act the way they're supposed to, look the way they're supposed to, even if they're a different race. They still will respect the way they're supposed to be, and that was okay. I remember watching the Assassination Classroom anime, the way it went. It was pretty good. And then the Bleach one was also good. Attack on Titan, had its things, but it was still respecting the material. You knew what characters were what. No one was out of place. Things were skipped, but it was still acted the way it was supposed to. Even the live-action corpse party. That's right, they're the live-action corpse party. But don't be wrong, there were terrible adaptations here and there, but yet even then the characters still acted the same in a way. There was a Future Diaries live-action TV series. Oh yes, that's right, there was a Future Diaries live-action TV series. But however, it wasn't made in Japan, it was made in South Korea. I know, right? South Korea. I watched it years ago. It was kind of terrible. But I didn't hate it. It was just it could have been something different. But it was one of the bad ones, I guess. Then there's the first live action Death Note. Remember the first live action Death Note? The Japanese one. It had a two-parter. That was good. That was pretty good. Even had a different alternate ending, but the characters all acted the way they were supposed to. And even Ryuk looked pretty nice, and even it was just that kind of CGI, he still looked nice. Then there's the live action Netflix adaptation. The only good thing about that one was the Ryuk. Everyone else sucked. Everyone else sucked. I guess they could at least give L dreads or messy hair or something. He at least did act it a bit like he was supposed to, but then you had Light, and Light didn't act like he was supposed to. It was dumb. Light doing other people's tests, papers and stuff. That's not Light. He's a law-abiding citizen. He does everything top notch. He was bored with how filthy the world was, in a way. Terrible Light, really terrible Light, and he was trying to impress a girl. Impress Light doesn't need to try to impress anyone. His presence itself impresses the women, gets them swooning. He was supposed to be the perfect, well, believed to be the perfect human being. Good at everything, just incredibly smart, good looking, dashing, charming. That was Light Yagami. I don't know what the heck that Light Yagami was in the Netflix show, but it was terrible. Now we're doing a One Piece. We're doing another Avatar. Um, and now we're doing a Hero Academia, and it's going to be by the guy who did Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan was terrible. And it feels like when these directors do these movies, it feels like the journalists who are now the enemy of the people. I'm just have to say it. They are now the enemy of the people. They no longer search for the truth. They just get paid by the corporates to shill for them now. That's all they are. They're corporate shills now, the journalists. They will do whatever they can to defend this movie, no matter how bad it is. Like they did with the Resident Evil live action series. They were defending it and saying how trolls and stuff were attacking the movie. The same thing over and over and over again. To the point where even people who know nothing about this look at it from the outside perspective and say, is that really the case? Is it really always trolls doing this? Or maybe it's you guys defending terrible stuff because you're being paid to do it? Who knows? But anyways, you're watching these terrible things and all they do is blame us every time the series don't do well. But then again, there are times where America does do good Japanese adaptations correctly. Battle Angel. While everyone was reading Berserk growing up as their first gruesome, mature manga, mine was Battle Angel Alita, aka Gun. I remember when I was to go to my local library and I was to read every volume that they had, all the way up to Battle Angel Last Order. And then now I'm reading the prequel series right now. And this was when I was back in middle school, in a way. And there was an OVA for it. You can call it a two-part OVA or you can call it a movie OVA. But either way, there's an OVA that adapted all the way up to what the movie did here in America. In America, in my opinion, did an amazing job. Same thing with Speed Racer, same thing with Sonic, and even Detective Pikachu. But for some reason, the journalists didn't do a very good job praising or uplifting this movie. Maybe because some will say it's because it came out around the same time Captain America did. Not Captain America, but Captain Marvel. Was it Captain Marvel? Yeah, Captain Marvel did. And so they only could praise one, even though they both had strong female protagonists. They demonized one and praised the other. And it was just a shame in a way. It really was. Because it was showing how it was never about morality. It was just about who was paying them the most to show for one movie. We all know this. And it's a shame that they do this, in a way. So the Battle Angel movie was so good that people wished there was a sequel. But the way they do the sequel will be kind of different. They would really have to rush a lot of stuff in the sequel. They'll have to do some time jumps because to do a good ending for it, just in case they can't make another one, the way for it to end, you know. She goes to Solemn. She faces that bounty hunter. She kind of ruined his face. She faces him probably in the beginning. And then she somehow makes it to Zolom. She finds out the secrets of Zolom and what's going on there. And then it ends her, what happens at the end of Battle Angel when she does go to Zolom. And then it continues on in Battle Angel Last Order, which they probably won't do. But either way, it was not praised by the journalists whatsoever, which is a shame. So when it comes to this live action Hero Academia thing, we can rant about it, we can complain about it all we want, just to get the views. But I'm not really doing it. That's why I didn't talk much about the Hero Academia live action, because in the day, all you can do is tell people to not watch it. That's all you can do. No hate watching. Like that video meme you see on Twitter. No, absolutely no freaking hate watching. No hate watching. If you want to watch it, pirate it. Stream it on some other kind of site. But don't watch it on the actual site. Don't. Just don't watch it. That's all you can do. Encourage other people not to watch it. Tell them it's just terrible. It's a cash grab. It's not going to be good. It's never good. If they won't praise the people who do it right, don't try to give the attention to those who will do it wrong. And that's all I gotta say about that. Don't watch this. Don't watch the Avatar Last Airbender one. Don't watch the One Piece one. Talk about how dumb it is once, and then don't talk about it at all. Don't even watch it. Don't say, "Oh, it was terrible," and so don't watch it. Don't watch either. How you know it's terrible? Don't even start that. When people try to use that counter argument saying, "Well, how you know it's terrible? You didn't watch it." You gotta look at them and say, "Really, really? Do you have to keep getting shot in the foot so many times to know that it hurts? You know, do you have to feel pain by the same kind of way to know that it hurts? Or taste the same kind of food you know you don't like to know you don't like it? You already know it's going to be terrible. Don't give me that terrible excuse like, you don't know that you watched it. It's a terrible thing. Like, you look at their track record, their reputation. They're known for ruining these things. So the fact that you even dare try to say something like that. I remember the first one they ever ruined for me, believe it or not, wasn't even Japanese media. It was actually Western media. It was Maximum Ride. Yes, they made a Maximum Ride movie. It's about the children who were running away from the government because they had these special powers. They had wings and stuff. Each of them had their own special power. Um, Someone actually made a manga version of Maximum Ride, and I loved it very much. In fact, two others of James Patterson's books were also turned into manga, such as Daniel X and Witch and Wizards. Yes, there was just during a time where a lot of American books were being turned into manga during the days of Tokyo Pop, and those were one of my personal favorites back in the day. I enjoyed those a lot, even Night School or DramaCon and stuff like that, You can say all you want, but at least it was original and creative. So there's that. But anyways, getting off topic here, is that they've ruined the Maximum Ride movie. They try to shove so much into one movie, and it was just terrible. It was boring. I fell asleep on it. That's right, I fell asleep on that movie. Of like, my goodness. And then it was just god awful, man. But anyways, man, that's why I didn't talk much about the Hero Academia rant. It wasn't a Hero Academia live action rant because I already know what's going to happen. This is why I'm skeptical when it comes to the the Fallout live action and even the BioShock live action that's gonna be on Netflix as well. I'm like, I wonder how they're going to ruin this movie because BioShock already has diversity. It had gay characters, it had black characters, so it had a diversity mix. And of course, it was what happens when capitalism has no restraint and stuff, which is good in my opinion. It shows that too much of anything is bad. That goes for any form of ideology. When it goes to the extreme, is extremely bad. So even with all that still in their hands, I'm still sitting here wondering, how are they going to ruin this? How? And they will find a way. They always do. For some reason, they find a way. Are they going to do it based off of Jack Ryan being the main character? Or better yet, why not do something that a lot of YouTubers or even podcast people like Atomic Wolf / Preston Harden made their own side stories to Bioshock, where it showed different characters and what they had to go through during the times in the fall of Rapture. So much you can do with it. I kind of hope they don't do things based off of Jack Ryan, but instead do other characters instead. Do their own twist on Bioshock. Or even some things where they showed what some people were doing during midnight was about to happen on New Year's Eve. Or even do something like The Brothers of Rapture, where the entire short film was being placed in one room only, but it was still pretty darn good. All I'm saying is that there's so much you can do with these movies, but Hollywood just finds some way to screw it up. So yeah, that's why I'm worried about the Bioshock movie as well. Um, who knows when it's going to come out, or how far they've gone on it. I'm pretty sure they haven't gone anywhere on it. Same thing with the Bioshock video game that's supposed to come out. They haven't really done much on it yet. It's taking forever and ever. That's why I kind of wish they didn't announce it just yet and just wait until they got something on board on the table. But so far, it's just nothing. And then of course there's the Fallout one. When it comes to Fallout, there's a lot of good. I mean, a lot of good machinima on YouTube about Fallout. You know, there's Junktown Rangers, Fallout Diaries. One of the best is Nuka Break. It's one of the best, and it comes with a spinoff of the lone with the Wanderer of that one, which is great. There's even some 3D machinimas of Fallout as well that people have done, like Raiders, The Storyteller, Dead Company's Tales. So many good Fallout content on YouTube. There's even Fallout audio dramas, like Truval Escapades or Chad or the Mobius Files, telling stories, their own version stories of Fallout and stuff, and what adventures they went on. There's just so much that the fans themselves do by themselves with such little materials, but still to bring that universe to life, to expand upon it. Then you have Hollywood just screwing it up every single time. So that's why I'm skeptical about Fallout live action. I am skeptical about the Bioshock live action. I feel like there's so much they can get wrong when they can easily get it right. And I feel like they just do it on purpose. Because apparently controversy will help them boost their attention more than just doing it right in the first place. Which we know is not true. But anyways, this video went on long enough. I wasn't expecting it for the video to be this long, me just ranting or me expressing how I feel, but it's just something I've always wanted to get across my chest. With these live actions where they can be done so right on a small budget, but yet these people with bigger budgets do it so wrong. I mean, look at the Uncharted the movie. Much as I enjoyed Tom Holland say how he would like a live action Jak and Daxter, he wasn't ready for the role of Uncharted. Now, if it was a prequel film, saying, "Oh, this is a prequel to Uncharted," one of Nathan Drake's, earlier adventures of him starting out, him being green behind the ears, that would have been great. They say it like that. It was just a prequel, a little something like that. That would have been great. I would have enjoyed that very much. But it was meh in a way. It was meh, highly meh. And him wanting to do a Jak and Daxter, which I'm happy to say because I'm starved of new Jak and Daxter content. But will they do a good job of it? Take off my love for Jak and Daxter to really think about will they really do a good job of it? And all I say is depends. If it's 3D, probably. If it's live action, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard bringing that world to life. You got the lurkers, you got the villagers, and stuff. And I can see Tom Holland being the first generation Jak, where he's quiet and young and innocent looking, but he can't talk. He can't talk. You have to stay quiet. Hey, if Nicolas Cage can do it, he can do it too. But still. That's all I got for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course hit that bell icon. This is Madcrownxox on Anime. signing out.